Don't worry, I didn't forget about this event.
Doesn't look like Miko is around here anywhere. Paimon doesn't see Ayato or Ayaka either. Are we too early? Didn't Ayato say he prepared lodging for everyone at the shrine?
Did you hear? Someone encountered a doppelganger here last night.
Oh yeah, we fought that samurai-looking nightmare thingy.
A doppelganger? You mean like a doppelganger of themselves? Or someone they know?
You know what they say. Anyone who sees their doppelganger will be replaced by them within 3 days.
That's just a folktale. It's not real.
Doppelgangers? That's a common folk tale in Inazuma, isn't it? Ever heard of it, Traveler?
No, never, honestly.
It comes up in light novels. You really never seen it? It's like when your friend is replaced by a complete stranger. The timing is a bit too coincidental, don't you think? Could it be related to what we saw last night?
Maybe.
The whole
It probably
doppelganger
can be.
thing sounds kind of like what Sayu was talking about with Bunshin Phantasm. Maybe something went wrong with Kichiboshi's powers? Well, thinking about it isn't going to get us anywhere. Why don't we go check on Sayu's team?
Will Sayu be there? That's the real question.
Huh?
Oh my god, none of them are
They're not
here.
yet. Well,
Were they all
if it is
kidnapped?
Sayu we're talking about, it's definitely possible. Oh, someone's coming.
He must be a doppelganger.
Weird. Is he here to work on the equipment? But he doesn't look like any of the workers we saw yesterday. And it doesn't seem like he's here for the games.
He looks suspicious. He's like growling, like the other guy from the beginning. Or what was his name? Komura?
He snuck away again. Do you think he might be...
He might have stole something. Did he steal something? We gotta chase after him.
He's constantly looking back. Paimon's calling it now. Something fishy is going on.
Don't jump to conclusions, let's keep watching.
Good point. He could be on his way to meet someone. Let the hunter become the hunted.
Reporting back, ma'am. Nothing suspicious to note at the Bunshin Phantasm booth. It's possible there's no connection to the incident from last night.
I see. Did you find any other clues? Isn't this Sarah?
Sarah?
Oh, that's Hazo. Ah, good morning, you two.
Hazel! What's going on here?
What is going on here? What the hell? I was wondering who was daring enough to sneak up on one of our detectives. Maybe I should have expected it to be you two? I guess that makes us the hunted. Traveler, Paimon. Alright, what's going on?
Forgive
here?
me, ma'am. I have failed as a detective. I did not realize someone was on my tail.
Oh, so he was collecting clues. Considering the traveler's skill, the fault is not with you.
So, what's going on? What are you investigating? It must be serious if Hazel's involved.
Well, about that. Unfortunately, my orders prevent me from sharing that information with you.
Huh? What orders? You really can't tell us anything?
If Sarah and Hazel are so hesitant to divulge information, there's only one person who could be responsible. Those orders come from the Shogun, don't they say? Don't they?
An astute observation, Traveler. Tell her the truth.
Shogun?
What? The Shogun is here?
Is it the real one?
You recognized me with a single glance?
Yeah, it's the real one. Shogun, we still haven't completed the investigation.
It matters not. I am certain the person standing before us is our friend, the Traveler. Her gaze, her presence, her mastery of several types of elemental energy.
She's just glazing us right now.
There is no mistake. And we need her help.
Understood. An investigation team was sent to survey a piece of land yesterday. The Tenryou Commission received a report that the team was found unconscious in the field. Oh shoot. Not only that, but the group appeared to have become trapped in an endless nightmare, unable to wake up.
No, please!
Oh, that's so sad.
Stay away!
I feel like we've seen like something like this before. We detected intermediate traces of yokai power where they were found. We followed the traces and ended up here, just outside the festival grounds.
What?
Should we call off the festival? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. You've heard the rumors about doppelgangers, yes? We suspect the culprit has the ability to change form, allowing them to spread misinformation at will. They may have already infiltrated the festival grounds. If we call off the festival, we may give them a chance to escape amid the chaos. Even the slightest movement can alert them. Locking down the festival grounds could provoke them to attack, which would endanger the public.
You're right. That's a big risk.
The purpose of this festival is to bring humans and yokai together. We cannot allow the culprit to endanger anyone.
But what if they attack again? A very valid concern. Last night we dispatched a group of soldiers to the festival grounds. They'll remain undercover to keep an eye out on things. We also blocked off several nearby roads under the pretext of construction, so we can keep civilians away as much as possible. Even the almighty Shogun has taken it upon herself to patrol the area all night, which means if the culprit infiltrated the festival grounds, they must still be nearby. The only people close to the grounds last night were the staff and the contestants staying at the shrine.
Miko is working with the Kamisato siblings to verify the identities of the staff members. They should be done soon. As for the contestants, that inquiry must be performed by someone else.
Is that why you need my help?
The Tenryou Commission is too conspicuous. But as the judge of the competition, you can ask questions without arousing suspicion.
Okay, so you need us to talk to the teams and see if there's an imposter among us?
Imposter among us. Guys, we're playing
Precisely.
Among Us now.
Worry not. Miko and I discussed that issue. She claims to have a plan. The preparations are underway as we speak.
One of her genius plans, huh?
Of course, it's her plan. Somehow, scheme seems more accurate.
Indeed. If you learn any details of said plan, I would like to know what I'm getting myself into.
And then it's the start, as though beholden illusions.
We need to ask questions to figure out if there's an imposter, but
Oh my
we
god.
can't arouse suspicion.
I can't hear the word imposter normally
looks
anymore.
like Sayu and Yoimiya seem the same as ever. Kichibushi too. How should we test them?
Let's ask about the past.
Oh, good idea! Doppelgangers only mimic appearances. They wouldn't know about someone's past. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, let's ask Yoimiya about her grandpa and all that.
White fur, yellow fur.
I still can't get over how they call us that. Whoa, you guys are here bright and early.
Yeah, well, the traveler's judging this thing, so we can't slack off, right?
Right? Could you imagine if Paimon was mute in this game? Still, you don't need to make anything, so what's the rush?
Yeah. If the people in charge are here early, that usually means there's been some kind of emergency.
She's onto us.
Oh, no, it's just... The traveler really wanted to see you.
That's so believable. Seriously, Paimon? Oh, why?
Well, it's... your game. Playing your game yesterday brought up a whole bunch of old memories. So we wanted to come early to reminisce about old times. You know, because you might be busy later and stuff.
I love Karina. What kind of excuse is that? They're busy now.
White fur acting super strange.
Ichiboshi's onto us. Time to change the topic. Oh, I was just thinking about the Aranara. Oh, I was just reminded of a certain ambush order. Oh, I was just reminded of some pilgrimage training. Well, I want to talk about the Aranara. Oh, you know what? Me too. I thought about adding them to our game, considering the dream theme and everything. But in the end, the ideas just wouldn't come together.
Marinara? Yum!
Marinara? No, it's not a food! The Aranara are like, small yokai from Sumeru. They're super friendly and cute, and can give you good dreams. Actually, that describes you, too, Kichiboshu. If you ever go to Sumeru, I'm sure you'll be considered a good Nara.
Good banana?
Good banana.
Sumeru, huh? The dreams there are supposed to be special. Did you witness a dream or something? Maybe it could give us some inspiration. And we wouldn't have to think so much.
I guess it was the kind where a lot of things happened. Anyway, it's a long story. How about we wait until after the competition? Traveler and I can tell together. Sounds good.
Wow, we've had so many adventures, huh? You don't even realize it until someone brings up the past.
Do you still remember the original meaning of our journey? Yeah, does anybody remember the actual plot? Do any of these characters remember the plot? We're out here looking for our brother, and we're out here...
Totally! It was... what was it again?
No f***ing way. Ah, looks like our judges are hard at work this morning.
Feel a soft bee?
Oh, Boss can explain that one.
Boss and Shosei were up super late last night coming up with ideas.
And he's back at it this morning, as energetic as ever. Boss is the best!
Oh, I don't deserve that much praise, but when it comes to the talking part, I guess I'm the best person to answer your questions.
Time for an interview.
Does she have those glasses on? Of course she does.
Into you?
Into you. Hey. Our target audience includes growing children, ages 0 to 18. Second would be active adults, ages 14 to 40. Next would be older adults, ages 40 to 60. 40 to 60, especially those in need of exercise.
Older adults!
Finally, we have elderly people who are still full of life. That would be the 60 to 1,000, Jesus.
Ah, okay. Wait. That includes everyone!
Yeah, that's the thing. That includes everybody. He's too vague on his answer. Well, we can't forget about the yokai, right? This game is for humans and yokai alike after all.
But not for Ioroi. Well, Toma's answers were all very genuine. Paimon didn't notice anything un-Toma-like about them. Plus, he was with Shosei until late last night. If you think about when we saw the nightmare creature, the timing doesn't match up. Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird. So, we're back at square one. That just leaves Kokomi's team, right? Guess we should check them out.
What if the new girl is sus? I'm already calling it. She's the one that's sus. I forget her name.
Oh, as in Soul of the Deep. Okay. Wait, did you say behind us?
Kokomi. You have questions for me, I presume?
Kokomi! A little warning next time!
Sounds like you already know why we're here. Yes, I heard about the doppelganger incident. When I saw you around the venue just now, it wasn't hard to connect the dots. As for what you want to know, energy.
Energy? Oh! The numbers you write in your diary!
In a tree? Dryberry?
Dryberry, yep. She left after receiving a message in the middle of the night. Looking back on it, perhaps it's related to your own investigation. Oh, as she left, I heard her whispering under her breath, ordering me around in the middle of the night. Who does she think she is? Miko. She probably needed an expert on nightmares to help formulate a strategy. Well, I guess that also confirms Mizuki's identity.
Something tells me a certain someone is missing me.
Her ear was probably ringing us. Or what's the... It's like when you sneeze. Is it sneezing or your ear ringing is when somebody's thinking about you?
Huh? Miko and Mizuki!
Hello, traveler. Paimon.
Did you finish up your work?
Yes, I left the rest to the young fellow from the
Oh my god,
Kamisato
she's
clan.
exhausted.
At least for now, there's nothing
She's like
suspicious
Layla
to
right now.
note.
That means the culprit didn't manage to sneak in. That's
Just like that, you let down your guard. And all it took was for me to wear her face.
What?
the culprit? It's you!
I want 30% of the profit.
Greedy little thing. I thought we agreed on 20.
Making a little joke like that.
It's getting harder and harder to tease you, traveler.
I was joking too. I wish I could have said like I'm joking too.
Can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds
She's
like
that
you need
old?
more
Well,
practice.
I played her story quest, so I don't know anything about her.
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running on fumes.
So, what did you do last night?
Investigated the Shogunate officials' nightmares. analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount Yogo. Oh, and worked on some new game stages, of course.
All in one night?
All in one night is crazy.
Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Compared to that, complaining about one night of hard work is a little unreasonable, don't you think?
Yeah. Even so, I think you should take a break. Miss Mizuki, how do you pronounce his name? Koban and I can handle the game development in the meantime. I learned a lot yesterday. I'm sure I can handle a few design elements while you get some rest. We can't have our lead developer out of commission. I'm not confident I can bring our vision to fruition. Fruition? I've never seen that word.
Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting so much pressure on herself.
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past when I was just a kid, and Mizuki a young Baku. We would rush past the other yokai, desperate to get the first piece of fried tofu from the ramen stand. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years.
That should mean the culprit didn't sneak in.
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and get their facade to crack.
Facade?
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt. Make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. As they hesitate over whether to make some kind of last stand, that is our chance.
So how do you plan to provoke them?
Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you.
Oh god, her plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce an esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
The Shogun. The real one, not the puppet. It's the Shogun! The Almighty Shogun is here in person?
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Paimon can't believe she agreed to that.
Literally, dang. The Almighty Shogun's presence is bound to cause a stir. Instead of struggling to maintain a low profile, it's better for her to step into the open. And it means a detective can split into the venue alongside the
retinue
without turning any heads at all. In the presence of the Shogun, not even the most cunning of criminals can let down their guard. Their every move needs to be faultless. The more you focus on getting one thing right, the easier it is for the rest to become cracks in the glass. That's what Miko wants us to take advantage of. And she's using the Almighty Shogun as bait. The Lady Guji is as daring as ever. A's presence definitely caused a stir, but it didn't take long for the festive atmosphere to return. Maybe a day will come when A can leave Tenshukaku and it won't be so out of the ordinary. Oh, that's cute. He's the doppelganger.
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign!
Jesus Christ.
Welcome. Welcome.
This doll looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed hands.
Ah, you must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind me of someone. A Doshin from the Tenryou Commission.
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Although this vendor seems...
The vendor's giving me a pleading look. Judging by his cooking skill, it almost seems like his first day on the job. He's working.
Working? Ah, I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Of course. It's an honor to serve such esteemed guests.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dango milk.
Yep, her and her dango milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon gets one too?
She's like, no, this is all for me.
Yes.
Oh.
I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. Without you by my side, I imagine the people here would be on edge even now. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere.
This festival is for everyone.
Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Hundreds of years have passed since I last partook of the festivities. Much is different this time. The people, the place, the games. Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it.
Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me? Most of the contestants will be there. Oh, and don't worry about payment. It's my treat.
Really? Yes, let's go!
You want us to go to the hot springs now?
Well, game development isn't easy. Most of the contestants are exhausted and could use a break. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all. So I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue perusing the stalls.
I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dango milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute.
She's kidnapping us. Be right back.
I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, she seems troubled.
Exactly. You noticed too.
Something did seem off with A today. Maybe she's not used to leaving Tenshukaku? Or was it the reaction of the crowd? No, we've been through so much. Something so trivial wouldn't shake her. She must be keeping something to herself.
I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, are unwilling or unable to seek help. Unfortunately, that only exacerbates the problem until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight.
So even the Archons aren't?
I see those warning signs in the Shogun.
So even the Archons aren't inhumane to emotional strain?
Humans, yokai, and Archons bear the same capacity for emotion and are naturally susceptible to the same mental turmoil. It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions.
She's using big
and
words
that is
today.
far from healthy.
I understand.
Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. That's where you come in, Traveler.
As a clinical psychologist, isn't that where you come in?
Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have my help. Here, with these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then, this is what you're gonna do.
We're gonna take the Shogun to Isa Bathhouse?
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
I was scared that she was gonna get kidnapped.
Sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other plans, Paimon. So we'll head to the bathhouse on our own.
Okay.
Huh? You're not coming?
I'll explain later. Just have fun.
Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg!
This place looks very relaxed and I would love to chill here.
Steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. So, this is a hot spring.
Oh, she like... So these little tufts of hair, she like pulled them back or something, I'm guessing. Is this your first time here?
Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku. But the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma.
Blast
and that
furnace,
was
like in
500
Minecraft.
years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And naturally, the body of the Shogun has no need for such luxuries.
Hiragi Hiroshi?
The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, Those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed.
What happened back then?
What makes you say that?
The look on your face. Wait, I just realized this tray is floating.
Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumeku Ibaku could do nothing to wake them.
As awful as that sounds.
Perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare, both for the person in question and those around them.
If I hadn't broken out of the nightmare yesterday, would that have happened to me? Then A must be so worried because... Did that happen to someone back then?
Yes.
What happened?
I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down.
I'm sorry.
No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again.
Hey.
Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, it's you two.
Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up.
Oh, she looks so pretty with her hair pulled up.
In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
Wow, this was her plan. I understand the reason.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Good point.
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
What was that?
Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out. Oh no! Someone's unconscious.
Someone stuck in their dream? Is it the nightmare?
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
She's awake?
What's going on? Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun, I...
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just take a deep breath and tell us what happened.
I almost fainted again just now.
Is that what happened earlier? You fainted?
Yes. I was on my way to your restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree.
That's creepy.
It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look.
Her doppelganger.
And it was me. In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and I fainted from the shock. I don't remember anything after that.
Is she replaced?
A doppelganger in Inazuma City. But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yogo.
That's spread in.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo too! Could it be the work of some terrible yokai?
Bad news, Shogun!
Haruto?
A Tenryou Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the
Kappa
festival.
Kappa?
Kappa
What? But Sarah and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once.
Holy. Oh!
Kappa! Kappa!
Excuse me. Let me take a look.
Mizuki! Traveler! Finally, you're back!
Shogun, the fault is mine. The Tenryou Commission failed to protect those under our charge.
Now is not the time to cast blame. Did anyone witness the attack?
No, we failed you. There's no trace of the enemy.
We split up for just a second, and the next thing we knew, he was on the ground.
It always happens when you take your eye off of them for a second, and boom, something happens.
It must be some terrible yokai.
Other than the Bake Danuki transformation, there was no trace of yokai power at the scene. It's almost like the culprit's methods are getting more sophisticated. The doppelganger in Inazuma City. Wait, there was a doppelganger in Inazuma City? Yeah, it seems like it. Doppelgangers, nightmares, Inazuma City, Mount Yogu.
How is he, Mizuki?
It's strange. I can't perceive his nightmare. It's almost like he's not there at all.
The yokai! It must be getting stronger!
Kappa! Oh, please don't die.
It's my fault. I should have anticipated the culprit might resort to more sophisticated methods.
No. It was I who underestimated the enemy. I who allowed us to continue the festival despite the potential dangers. Sarah, what is the status of the other contestants and staff?
All normal. I asked the Yashiro Commission to move them to a secure location just to be safe.
Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is... Wait. What is it, Miko?
You're being too hasty, eh? I understand your concern for the people, but I urge you to think this through, or we risk playing into the enemy's hand. Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution. But do you truly believe that what we're facing now is just a nightmare?
Imagine this whole entire thing is just Yai's prank on us to spice up the festival.
Call it intuition. If you want the truth, perhaps Doshin Shikanoin could shed some light. I believe there's been a break in the case.
You flatter me, Lady Guji. I do have a few ideas. Up to this point, we've only detected traces of the nightmare creature around Mount Yogu, and now a doppelganger appears in Inazuma City. Our original thought was that the culprit infiltrated the venue to evade capture. If so, there would be no reason for them to risk exposure by continuing to change form. Rather than concluding that the nightmare creature, on top of everything, now has the ability to disappear without a trace, I think there's a different possibility. Oh, we haven't done one of these in a long time. I forget how to do this. Is it 2 people? Yeah, that's right. The entities appeared at the same time and place. That's why the Tenryou Commission conflated the two at first. But if we ignore the nightmare creature and look at the doppelganger incident in isolation, the culprit's motive is clear. That must be the culprit's goal. Oh, I'm so good at these. That's right. Because of the folktale about doppelgangers, the culprit was able to incite panic without attacking anyone at all. But after the Tenryou Commission secured the venue, the culprit appeared in Inazuma City so that the panic would spread. But what is the end goal? Panic doesn't seem like enough of a motive. You're right. Panic is a means to an end, but I think the shift to Inazuma City proves something. Whether their goal, terrorizing one location, wasn't enough. And since Inazuma City is their new target, the people they're impersonating at the festival should be absent. Unless the culprit found a way to cover their tracks and incite more panic. By leaving behind a stand-in. Oh, it was a fake!
Kappa is made of wood?
So where's the real Kappa?
No wonder I couldn't sense the nightmare.
That's why.
I see. So the doppelganger infiltrated the festival as Kappa and is currently hiding in Inazuma City. Is that correct?
Not just that, replacing one person wasn't enough. If multiple people are replaced at once, they can cover for each other. This kind of transformation is said to have a particular weakness. If the subject is frightened, the disguise starts to crumble. Isn't that right, Yoko and Hidosume Kozo?
It's a Bakedaniki tail!
Kikaku! Kikaku! Run!
Tetsunosuke?
It's the Bakedaniki.
They're getting away!
We gotta chase them now.
Aren't you supposed to be in Inazuma City?
And leave you two by yourselves? That's not the Tanuki way!
No fighting! Let's go!
The hell?
You can't see me. I'm on fire.
Tetsunosuke, you idiot! Don't tell them the three of us turned into bonfires!
Hear that, Traveler? Bonfires! 3 of them! We'll show them, stupid.
Oh my god, that one Tanuki sounds like Marge from The Simpsons. Oh my god, I have to get rid of all of these little...
Ouch! Transform!
They were all together in one place? That's so stupid.
Oh, what are they this time? Some kind of stone or brick?
That's enough. I will not fail the Shogun again because of you.
Ah! A Tengu! Tengu was flying! Tengu is a cheater!
Surrender now, and I will spare your life.
Tengu? Why are you helping the humans? Tengu is a yokai!
My loyalty is to the Shogun. Humans and yokai are no different in my eyes.
Shogun? That's the leader of the humans!
Shogun sent people to steal our land! Shogun is bad!
Nonsense. The Shogun would never give such an order.
Calm yourself, Sarah. Let's hear them out.
Shogun sent humans to steal our home!
And the Mikawa Flower Festival! Shogun is making yokai serve the humans!
Serve the humans? He's not talking about the game development, is he?
Shogun even forced Great Baku Yokai to work all night!
Oh, you mean yesterday? That was my choice, actually.
Jeez, where are these ideas coming from?
I think there are some misunderstandings.
Stay back!
Humans want to enslave us again!
Hold on. Something's not right. We should try a different approach.
No need. I know what's wrong. They're trapped in a nightmare.
What are you doing? Trying to put Tetsunosuke to work?
Kinkaku doesn't want to stay up all night.
Servitude, enslavement. These might sound like ridiculous misunderstandings to us, but that is their reality right now.
So they're not actually the culprits.
A world of despair and fear,
that's what
where
they
enemies
see.
lurk at every turn, devoid of even a single shred of light.
So, they're sleepwalking? How do we wake them up?
If we knew how, we would have done so back then.
Back then?
Give us your worst! Kinkaku will never leave the Tanuki path! Kinkaku will die before serving you!
I may have a solution.
Truly?
If the nightmares come from the abyss...
What are you doing? No, don't!
The humans are everywhere. We can't hide forever.
How long have we been hiding? 100 years? 500 years? No idea. If Yoroi was still around, he would remember. Shh, quiet! Someone's coming.
This is a fine piece of land. The grain yield should be exceptional.
Remember to check for traces of yokai in the surrounding area. By order of the Shogun.
By order of the Shogun, we are to exterminate all yokai that cross
Oh, that's
our
what they
path.
heard.
Why so hasty? We should leave some alive. We can make them work their own land.
Hey, you know about the Mikawa Flower Festival, right? I heard 50% of the profit is going to the development fund.
Oh yeah, the festival for humans. And...
The festival for humans, and humans alone. The yokai have had their fun. It's our turn now.
That's right. We should put them to work. They're known for their transformations, right? Then the little monkeys can dance for us until they die.
No. How could they do that?
Quiet, or they'll catch us.
This is scary. Oh, it's this guy that we saw.
What? What is that?
And they just died.
Hey, are you alright? Yoko, Kappa, I need help over here! Hold on, we're coming!
The yokai and the humans are unconscious? The same thing happened to all of them?
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
This yokai can speak.
No, if we don't make it to the Mikawa Flower Festival, Boss Tama will be so upset. Boss Tama will eat us.
She's saying Boss Tama.
The humans are coming for us. We're gonna lose our home. What do we do? We infiltrate the Mikawa Flower Festival. We scare the humans away and then they won't come.
So who's doing these
How
nightmares
do we get
thing?
into the
The
festival?
Abyss, but
Boss Toma is the best!
How about we turn into those 3 yokai?
these memories, they belong to the Bake Danuki.
Traveler! Traveler!
Are you all right, Traveler?
I'm fine.
Where are we?
Huh? The nightmare is gone. You purified it.
Just my way of dealing with the... Yeah, it's no biggie. I just, like, I know how to purify the Abyss and everything.
Humans! And a bunch of yokai!
Yokai? He's a yokai?
The Mikawa Flower Festival! The humans are gonna... They're gonna...
Looks like they're confused. They still seem wary of humans. That might have something to do with a long time in Haydn. Haydn? You described the memories to the group.
Oh, that explains all the Boss Toma this and Boss Toma that. That was the only thing they could imitate. Wait a second. Hitotsume Kozo and the others should be Akitsuyuge experts. But this time, Toma did all the work. I can't believe we missed something so suspicious.
You're like Heizo, if his skills only worked in hindsight.
Oh, you're saying Paimon's deductive reasoning is Hazel level.
More or less.
Based on your description, Traveler, it's possible these Bake Danuki have been in hiding for 500 years. Sounds like they know Ioroi, too. Why don't we ask him? It's not far.
The protector of the grove. It's been 500 years since our last meeting. Sarah, Heizo, return to the festival to keep watch. The doppelganger incident has been resolved, but the threat of the nightmare remains.
Yes, Shogun.
Oh, keep it down. Bringing all these people at this hour. Don't you know even statues need to sleep? Shogun! I bow before thee. No, wait, shoot, I'm still a statue.
If he's still a statue,
What
how
should
the
I-
hell do you talk?
All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
I've never seen Ioroi so afraid.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a knackwheat from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style.
Keep it to yourself, you meddlesome kitsune.
Ioroi, I wish to ask you something.
Anything, Shogun. Absolutely anything. It is my honor to answer.
Suck up.
Suck up.
You could have at least slowed down a little. It took forever to convince them to come with me.
Oh, it's Yoroi! The humans really did kill you! Your body is stone!
Huh? I am not dead.
Not dead? The Kitsune spoke the truth?
This smell is Yoroi! Yoroi is alive?
Yoroi? The humans really did seal you away!
Wait, this must be Kinkaku, and Tetsunosuke. You weren't sealed away?
When the humans, Kamuna Harunosuke, came to hurt us.
We ran and hid. The humans searched and searched. So many friends couldn't move. Our yokai powers were getting weaker.
So we decided to escape the human just as the great Baketanuki Tsukumo taught us, by digging a hole in the ground!
Did they
That's when we
hibernate?
uncovered a horn filled with yokai power. It was the will of the great Baketanuki Kichiro, man.
It restored our power! And then we made the human go, oh, oh, ching, yeah, yeah, ha, ha.
Oh, and by ting tune, yeah, you mean?
We tricked him and ran.
So, you didn't actually beat him up at all?
We've been using the horn to hide ever since. But there are too many humans. It's getting harder to hide.
A horn full of yokai power. Could that be the source of the nightmares? The reason the Baketanuki are so afraid of humans? If the horn contained the fragment of a nightmare, using its power to hide would spread the nightmare to them. That means the Baketanuki have been trapped inside this state of anxiety for 500 years.
For 500 years is crazy.
I could have told you that nothing good would come from that horn. Using external power is against the Tanuki path.
We strayed from the path?
But the horn helped us hide from the humans. The humans tried to take our land.
On the contrary, the purpose of the investigation was to determine in advance if yokai were present on the land in question, whether we avoid encroaching on yokai territory altogether, or attempt to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. A peaceful resolution was always the goal.
Oh, really?
Wait, that is what the humans said back then, isn't it?
By order of the Shogun, if yokai live here, we need to discuss the proposal.
Ginkaku Tetsunosuke. Not all humans are bad. Yellow Fur over there helped me a great deal, you know.
Keep on calling this yellow fur and white fur.
Besides, the Baketanuki were only sealed away back then because Ioroi stole that comb.
Yoroi is a thief? Yoroi got what he deserved.
How was I to know it was used to make sacred Sakura Daifuku? I gave it back, didn't I?
So the humans were mean for no reason?
Well, if you must know, the young human and I fought. I was perhaps a tad careless, so I conceded the match. Anyway, the point is, neither side is bad.
There he goes again, changing the subject when it makes him look bad.
Yep.
Now you know. No human is trying to harm you.
So, it was all a nightmare.
500 years in hiding? For nothing.
It was a
500
500-year-long game of hide and seek. What's so bad about that? Besides, you won.
But a nightmare that's still affecting people after all this time? Who could it belong to? A horn buried under Mount Yogo.
I feel like I've heard a legend about that.
Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be seen again. A trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness, she was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent, until she tore the creature apart from within.
Oh, isn't that island with the skeleton?
Thus she earned the name Chiyo the Tiger Bite, or Tora Chiyo.
I don't think Chiyo would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another, until she could no longer distinguish dream from reality.
A nightmare doesn't encapsulate someone with sufficient strength. It turns into something even worse.
The nightmare twisted every joy in her life, her subordinates, family, and friends, into enemies in need of destruction.
Oh, isn't there like a mental disorder that like this happens?
It was in that
I've heard
state,
about this.
trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself. I suspect that is when the horn in question was buried there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bakedanuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true,
we have a lot of fear.
It's
and
possible
anxiety.
Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed the fragment to gain physical form and become something akin to a jibakure, an earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them. That's why the traces of this entity appeared intermittently and never outside of Mount Yogo.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates all joy and every good thing in this world. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand? Attacked.
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the playtesting.
So why hasn't it appeared since?
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains, that it cannot defeat you. But sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chiyo set her sights on a target, she was never one to waver.
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated, and an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin.
There's really no other way?
Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all that remains. The living must take precedent over the memory of the dead.
Even so, having to unleash Muso Ishini against her again? Would A really be okay? Mizuki and Archon suffer from the same turmoil as the rest of us. The dead may be gone, but that doesn't mean our emotions die with them.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway?
Damn.
I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bakedanuki friends.
Huh? What does that have to do with us?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bakedanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down, and who's to say whether you take the lives of our poor friends along with it?
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a momentary... oh, no. A 500-year-long lapse in judgment.
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their extensive travels.
Well, Oh! Yes. During my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that happen before.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to Inazuma. Should all other options fail, I will take action.
This whole nightmare thing reminds me of that one episode of My Little Pony where Princess Luna created this nightmare-looking thing as punishment.
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most logical option is to get rid of the nightmare itself.
Right! Can't you just eat the nightmare, Mizuki?
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even yesterday, when faced with the corruption of the nightmare, Mizuki could only mitigate the effects.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. If we cannot eradicate the nightmares directly, why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting and illusions, and they happen to be right in front of us.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
Maybe they're hiding as trees? Or the wind?
Fools! The Kitsune is clearly referring to the Baketanuki.
She's literally talking about you guys.
Tsunosuke, Kinkaku, must you be so dense?
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that the entity will be unable to distinguish from the real world.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we want to give the Baketanuki an opportunity to strike, I assume you have a plan, Miko?
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh,
Not gonna say anything?
She just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right. If we work together, I'm confident we can put together a ritual to subdue the nightmare fragment.
Once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have two formidable warriors on our side. Our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces.
Yeah, we do.
And the almighty Shogun,
do.
unmatched in combat. I'm sure the two of you can buy us some time.
There's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley lines, its movements are unpredictable. If we're going to create a barrier, how can we be sure it appears where we want?
The solution to that is obvious. If the nightmare fragment despises all sources of joy and happiness, then naturally a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure. An enemy that must be annihilated at all costs.
So, if we want to lure it out,
we need a source of joy.
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
So we need to do this festival to lure them out.
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Festival is the most plausible target. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plane of Euthymia immediately. I will not put the people in danger. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can subdue the enemy together.
This whole entire festival.
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual. I'll need your help, Mizuki. It's going to be a busy night.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Oh, it's like Layla. She's like Layla right now.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a Little Fox's Daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Dang.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. If the enemy proves too much to handle, leave them to me.
But...
I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. Just get some rest and prepare yourself for the battle to come.
Get some rest, eh?
One more thing. Thank you.
不客气. And that is the end of the second story. That's all I got for today, so see ya.